Life in Medina. The early history of the construction of the Nabawi Mosque. The Nabawi Mosque was built by the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam since the first time he founded the city of Medina, to be precise, where the Prophet Muhammad's ride stopped his journey. Previously, this location was a place for drying dates belonging to two orphan brothers, namely Sal and Suhail bin Amr, which were later bought by the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. Initially, the mosque was only about 50 by 50 meters in size with a roof height of about 3.5 meters. The Prophet built it with his own hands and was assisted by his companions and other Muslims. On the walls, the four sides of the mosque are made of bricks and soil, while the roof of the mosque is made of date leaves and part of the roof is left open with pillars made of date tree trunks. For 9 years, this mosque was used without lighting at night. It's just that, during Isya, they made a little light by burning straw. On one side of the mosque, the residence of the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam was built. The Prophet's residence was not too large and not more luxurious than the mosque, it's just that it was made more closed. Then, during the reign of Umar bin Khattab, the walls of this room were repaired with permanent buildings. There is also a part that is used as a residence for the poor who do not have a home. When it was first built, the Prophet's mosque did not have a pulpit for sermons. The Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam at that time preached on date palms. When the pulpit for the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam was built and he climbed the pulpit to preach, the dates fell down and groaned, emitting a voice of longing like the sound of a camel longing and calling for its child. This is because the date palm was touched when he heard the sermon of the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. So the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam went to embrace him until he was calm like a baby when rocked. Hadith History of Bukhari, No. 3584-3585. How beautiful was what Hassan al-Basri said after narrating this hadith. He said, "This date palm is crying, O Muslims, it is like wood groaning with a crying voice because it misses because it was left by the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. Aren't humans more entitled to miss him?" Dalail Nabawiyah, by al-Baihaqi, 559. After completing the mosque building, the friends disagreed about how to call the Muslims to pray in congregation. So at that time, namely in the first year of hijrah, it was obligatory to call to pray 5 times. It is narrated that Abdullah bin Zayd saw in a dream about the call to prayer. Then he informed the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. Rasulullah Shallallohu'alaihiwassalam ordered to teach it to Bilal, then Bilal made the call to prayer. When he heard it, Umar bin Khattab came to the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam and said, "I saw in a dream what Abdullah bin Zayd saw." Hadith History at-Tirmidhi, 61-62. Since then, the most important function of the Prophet's mosque is to perform worship to Allah and as a place for important matters for Muslims such as a place for poor immigrants, especially young people who do not have a home. They are known as Shafa experts. The Talim place, where the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam taught the Muslims their religious teachings. A place to receive the tribal envoys who came to the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. A place to hold a war flag. The meeting place and association of the companions with each other and with their leader the Prophet Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. Like, share, and subscribe.